still doubting yourself in 2025, insert the clip where the lady's like, ain't nobody got time for that, because ain't nobody got time for that. So here are 6 tactics to help me get over imposter syndrome after working in the beauty industry for 16 plus years. And at the end of this video, I'm going to add a 7th one that is just a game changer. It works for everybody and it's instant and it's undeniable confidence after you do what this 7th one is. Let's start with our first one. All right, so first one is niching down. So being someone that does all the things, it's hard to stand on confidence for all the things. Like if we're talking about hair, oh, I can color, I can cut, I can do wig installs like nobody's business. I can do extensions, I could do cornrows, I could braid, I could do all the things. When you say that you could do all of those things, it's harder to really stand on business and be like, yeah, I could do all of those things. And yes, there are some people who can really do that, but that's far and few between. Majority of artists, same with makeup. You could do a heavy beat, you could do more natural face, you can do bridal makeup, you could do theater, you could do special effects. Those are all different categories. But being like, yeah, I could do it all. When you're that wide, it allows more space for people to be like, but can you though? And you could do it, but it's like, it's all right, you know? So niching down into things that you could do actually just helps. I've experienced for myself, it helped me give more confidence. Like, yeah, I could do those 3 things really good. And then there's, you know, those 4, 5, 6 things I could do good, you know, and then those 7, 8 things I could do pretty decent, you know. So that's where I'm at, and that helped me stand on business so much more and be so much more confident. Because if we messing around with one of the things I'm really good at, baby, yeah. So our next one is building a level of success. So this one definitely helps because there's no smoke and mirrors. It's like more than once have gone on set with somebody or have got showed up to work, and I can tell that it's like in my lane. One of the things that I'm really good at, one of the things that I have lots of content online of me doing and slaying, and then I'll run into them and they'll be the client and they'll seem so unsure. And then I sometimes have to say, like, have you seen my work? Like, did somebody just refer you and say, okay, this is the guy, and they just said, okay, you didn't like look me up? Like, have you Googled me? Like, have you seen my Instagram? Like, do some swiping. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'm gonna go and get breakfast. I'll go grab a coffee, do some swiping, and see, so that you can get a little bit more comfortable and stop second doubting everything that I'm saying, because clearly this is my lane, you know. So those two working hand in hand together. So one, building some level of success so that you can stand on your business and be like, have you seen? Or just pull up your portfolio like, oh, you have no worry. This color correction, like, this is what I do. Like, and then pull up your work and say, boom, boom, boom. Have you seen? Look at this. I took her from here to here. 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 Once you have that, then it's like, oh, okay. They relax and you feel it, the tense, just the energy transfer is just so much better. So having that level of success just makes your job a lot easier, and it makes it easier to enter the room with confidence because they already know. And not only do they already know, they're happy and grateful to have you on that project. I've had people who are paying me good money be like, oh, we're so thankful that you took this job. I'm like, I'm thankful that y'all paying me to be here. So it's a whole different energy versus like, you're lucky you got this job. You know, we barely wanted you. You're the 3rd option, you know, so it's a whole different thing versus like a client that's like, oh my God, I'm so happy I was able to get into your schedule. You're so booked, you know. So building that level of success makes it so much easier to stand on business and to not have imposter syndrome because you already, you know, it's like, it is what it is. All right. For our 3rd one, it's they only know what you tell them. Okay, so I learned this back in the day, maybe 2000 2012. I learned this when I first started educating in the beauty industry. So one of my mentors, Robert Reed, he brought me on to the Ergo team very, very early in my career. And this was before I had the level of success that I have now and the years of experience that I have in the portfolio. It was given smoke and mirrors, but I naturally had a talent. So we were pushing that, and I was, had some charisma and some natural talent. So that was good enough to get me in the door. And so he would tell me, he was like, they don't know that you don't have this experience, but all they know, you could be a third generation hairstylist that's been doing hair since you were 6 years old. And now you're 20 something years old and you have over a decade of experience doing hair. So they only know what you tell them. So if you walk in there like, yes, I could do this in my sleep, I know this like the back of my hand type of energy, then it's like, okay. If you lead with that will help you with imposter syndrome. But if you're in your head like, oh my God, hey guys, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I hope I do a good job, then they're like, okay, this is an imposter. You need to leave. Yeah, so be careful what you tell them. And so what you tell them is what they'll go by, especially if your energy is confirming that as well. All right, for our next one. This has been pretty funny. I'm having a good time. If you're enjoying this, make sure that you check out some of the other episodes that we have coming out. This is episode 3, so there's 2 more before this one, and then there's 1 more after this one for this particular round of series, and then we may do more for August. We'll see. But definitely check out some of the other series. Okay. Next one is Everyone Else is Taken. Okay, everyone else is taken. So, and this is I have 2 pieces of this one. So one, everyone else is taken. So, but only you and what made you, your life experience, your personality, your energy, what you bring to the table, your skill set, your eye, your mind, your heart, your passion, your willingness to go and to be there, just everything, the mentorship, the education that you've gotten, everything that's made you what you are, your discipline, your everything, your touch, everything, that is all you. So if you really lean into that, then there's a client for you, there's a job for you, there's an opportunity for you. So sometimes when it comes to creatives, I'm a more chill guy. I'm not as like, woo, bright and shiny. I could get like that sometimes for sure. But for the most part, I'm chill. And there's clients who love that I'm chill. There's clients who's like, oh my God, you're so calming. Your energy is so calming. Or the day will be stressful and I'll literally be like, it's chill. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. And they appreciate that. They pull on that energy to help calm them down. And then there's other people who are lit and it's like, woo, they twerking on the, in the room and they like, turn the music up, swinging hair around and they're just having a good time. That energy, people attract to that as well. So there's different type of clients for different type of people. Some people are like, yes, that's the person I love. That's who they're attracted to. But if you try to be that person, that's where, again, we run into the imposter syndrome, because you're not being who you truly are. And again, there's times where you can stretch and be certain things or turn it up a notch or turn it down a notch for different environments. But it's easy for the majority of the time, it's easier to be what you truly are and then let those who attract to what you truly are, there's that. And everyone else is taken. And so one of the things, the second thing about that is that on the surface, it may seem like, oh my God, that person is lit. Like, I wish I was more energetic. I wish I was that, I wish I was those other things. I used to feel that about a lot of different people, just growing up as an individual outside of the work industry. And then I got to know some of those people and see what was behind the hood. And sometimes I'm like, oh, you're actually crazy, or you have crazy anxiety, or you have trauma, or this isn't even you. You're putting on a facade. When you go inside, you're like, you take off that mask and you're not even that naturally lit type of person. You just play it really well. You're just a really good actor. So there's a lot of people who, once I started to look behind or get to know those type of people who I aspire to be. That's why they say never meet your heroes, because sometimes you meet them and they're just not what you expect them to be. So don't always aspire to be someone else, because you never know what that other person is like really in person. So there's that one. We're almost down to the last one. Okay. Being okay with not being perfect, baby. This one right here, being okay with not being perfect, is such a gem, because sometimes when you go in there and say, look, this is what I know, and I understand there's a lot of things that I'm still learning. I'm a forever student. When you embrace that and say, like, I'm always down to learn different things and to grow, and this is what I do know, this is what I do know, and clearly I do know some, but there's a lot that I know that I don't know, and everyone's hair is different, everyone's skin is different, every opportunity is different, and I'm always open to learning. So, but when you come in there with the energy, because I think I need to know it all, or I think I need to be perfect at it, so think you need to be a certain authority into it, that's where it's like, okay, I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna test that. Then people are trying to test it and see, like, okay, you think you know everything, okay, let's see how you move, let's see what products you choose, let's see what tools you use, let's see what your tension feels like. It's like a constant exam, and it's like, that's not the energy I want. I'd rather you show, I do something and we work on this together. Let's work on this project together, because I'm opening up the space by saying, look, there's a lot of things that I do know, but I understand that I don't know everything. So if there's something that you do know that will help this project go smoother, let's work on it together. And I'll bring my expertise, you bring your expertise, and we'll just make magic together. And when you come like that, that's always the best way. I'm telling you, I've done it both ways, where I'm like, girl, sit down, let me do what I do. And then I've done it to where I'm like, okay, let's collaborate. What do you think? Oh, okay, you think that? Oh, okay, all right, let's do it. And then majority of the time, it turns out better when we actually truly collab. So collaboration is amazing. All right, you almost made it to the end of the video. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. And let me pat myself on the back, because maybe I'm entertaining enough, or I'm dropping some good gems. Am I dropping some good gems? If you liking it, then give me a like or a comment or a subscribe if this is on YouTube. Yes, don't get on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Okay, number 6. Remember, I have a 7th one after this. Okay, personalize it. Oh my God, this is another great one. Personalize it by saying, in my experience, in my faves are, my opinion, it's insert clip. It's my opinion. It's such a clutch tool to have in your pocket, and to say, because it's hard to argue with people's opinion or someone's favorite. Like, how are you going to tell me what my favorite is? Like, my favorite gel is this. This gel, I love using this gel on 4C hair. It works so good for me. When you put in, I love, this works so good for me, but if you say it works so good for 4C hair, that leaves opportunity for people to say, oh, actually it doesn't work that good for 4C hair. But if you say it works so good for 4C hair for me, and when I use it, I love to use this on 4C hair, how are they going to argue with that? Like, excuse me, I said I love to use this product because I actually love to use this product on 4C hair. So personalizing it is the clutch. It allows the haters and just the people who are just, I don't know, what is it? The hecklers. It allows the hecklers to chill out, and the trolls, it doesn't open space for them when you personalized it and say, this is my experience, and my experience has been great with it. This is my opinion on it. This is one of my favorites. When you personalize things like that, it's just so much better, and it allows you to have so much more confidence when you're saying it, because sometimes we'll say oh my God, this product is amazing for 4C hair when sometimes really we may not feel 100% on that, or we may not have explored it a ton. You know, this shadow works on all shades when really it may not work the best on all shades. But you can say, if you personally like it, you say, I've used this blush on all shades of skin color. That's a fact if you use it on all shades of skin color, you know, so personalizing it will help you 1000%. The seventh one is taking education or classes or workshops or assisting people that are higher than you in whatever field that you work in, as well as other fields, you know. So if you say like a legend, let's say if you're a makeup artist and you say, I personally worked under Pat McGrath for 12 years, like Pat McGrath's skill is undeniable. Or if you say, I personally worked under Guido for 7 years straight, that is like, okay, you've learned some things because Guido's amazing. I've personally worked under Orlando Pita for 8 years. I personally worked under Vernon Francois for 4 years. I've learned a ton about texture, you know. So things like that really help give you a certain level of credibility, but also it helps attach yourself to their credibility and their decades that they've earned of building that knowledge and experience. You say, well, I've learned under them, so it may have took them decades to get that experience, but from working with them over those years, I was able to shortcut the time because they just taught me on day one. They said, oh, it took me 25 years to learn to not use a brush instead of a comb. So day one, when you come in with your comb, they're like, put that comb away. We're using a brush. This is better. And it took them years and years to learn these techniques. So that's the benefit of assisting different people and taking different classes. You may go take a class and you take a class and they're using techniques and tools and products that you've never even thought to use. And now when you go back into the field, you're going to be using those products and techniques and tools because you just advanced. And it may took them 15 years before they switched on to using that. And now, boom, after that class, you're like, oh, I'm throwing my old stuff away. I'm ordering this new stuff. And now I'm here with it. So that is my advice. Taking classes, taking workshops, being a mentoree, and finding a mentor and learning and utilizing their years of education to add to your credibility as well as to your wealth of knowledge. So I hope this helped. And if you like it, share with a friend. And yeah, if you want to see more about this, let me know what else you would love for me to talk about. And also just let me know how this series is going if you've been watching the episodes. All right. Have a great day.